Alrighty, so last but not least, we're going to do something a little bit intense. But if you can figure out how this works, suddenly this becomes a really cool tool. So I'm going to scroll up here and we're actually going to we're going to make this little app within Figma. It's going to be like this running app. You can click a button, you can show people, it'll be awesome. So I want to click, so we've gone over almost every single tool. The one tool we haven't gone over is the text tool, which is pretty explanatory. So you drag it out and you have to type in it right away. So if I type in it right away, blah, 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 and then I click outside of it, you'll see that text stays. If I try to draw a text box and I don't type and I click out of it, it's gone, and it's gone forever. So just a quick thing there is the font. And this font works like a lot of other things. You can choose, the text, you can choose all these different fonts. That's a really weird font. And then you can do bold, you can do font sizes, you can do, you can change other features. So don't worry too much about that. Feel free to mess with it if you want, but that covers everything. Comment tool we won't worry about. So the only tool we haven't done is this one right here. This is called the frame tool. So what the frame tool is you'll see when I clicked on it over here in this design tab, there's a few different options. We have phone, and if you look, there's all these different phones. There's tablet, desktop, there's watches, which is kind of funny. But we want phone because we're going to be making a mobile app. And let's just go with the iPhone 11 Pro. That works for me. And you'll see it puts this white box, this perfectly shaped white box, is the shape of a phone. And what this does is we can now work inside of this, and it'll basically be like what we're making on an app screen. So I'm going to click my square up here, and I'm going to make a square on this page. And I'm going to use my text tool, and I'm going to write in here, go to page 2. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to center it. So just like the other things, you can use your move tool, you can move things around. And then I'm going to make more text up here that says, this is page 1. I'm going to go ahead and center it. And then what I want to do here is I want to make a new frame. So I'm going to click the frame tool again. I'm going to click iPhone 11, and you'll see it automatically puts this other frame right next to it. I'm going to hold it up here. And what I want to do is I want to do text. I'm going to say this is page 2. Whoops. Sorry about that. Knocked the laptop a little bit. I'm going to center that. I'm going to make another square, which if you picked up on what's going on here, these are going to be buttons. So what I'm making here is buttons. Very simple. There's no design here, but I just want to show you a really cool trick that Figma has. So we're going to go to page 1. And we're going to center that. All right, now here comes the cool part. So far we've only worked in this design tab, and it has all this stuff here. If you click on this, shows color, shows some other things. There's also this prototype button. And so if I click prototype, now you'll notice as soon as I click that, this little plus button showed up on this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and hold, and there's this arrow that pops out. So I'm going to drag the arrow over here, and you'll notice this whole blue thing highlights. And if I release, it keeps that arrow pointed there. And so I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to show you what it's doing in a second. So I'm going to click this box, and I'm going to drag this over here. So I'm going to X out of that. So you'll see this box has an arrow pointing here. This box has an arrow pointing here. Now, if I click outside of these, you'll see there's this little play button. All that means is that this is going to be the home screen. So now, if I click this play button up top in between share and your percentage, if I click that, it's going to take me to a whole new page. So we're going to wait for that to load for a second. And you'll see that page we just had is here. And so I can click go to page 1, and it takes me to page 1. And I can click go to page 2, and it takes me back to page 2, which is really cool. We've basically, let's say you had an idea for an app and you wanted a developer to make the app, but before you asked the developer to make the app, you wanted to see how it would work and how it would look and all this stuff. So that's what this is for. And this is an extra little tidbit. I think it's really cool. You could make a full-on app with this, what we've learned so far. So I'm going to go back in here, and don't worry about following along with how fast I go here. I'm just going to try to do a quick little, I'm going to make this smaller. Let's see here. I'll put this here. Go learn about cursive. And so I really encourage you. This stuff is really cool. You have a lot of fun with it. But at this point, you have just enough knowledge that you can really take off with this stuff. And so you'll see here, I'm having just a little bit of fun with it. I'm making this app about a robot, and apparently there's cursive in the app. I don't know if anyone would buy this on the App Store. Seems like a kind of weird idea to put on the App Store, but maybe I would get it because it's a robot I drew and it's cursive for my name. So this will stay gray. I'm gonna make this button. I'm gonna go to the design because we have these tools. I'm gonna make it red. I'm gonna make this text white because I think that looks cool. I'm gonna throw some shapes in there just because I can. I'm gonna make them red too because I can. It doesn't make much sense. But now, so if I go back to this play button, you'll see it automatically changes, and there's still this button here, so I can click go to robot, go learn about cursive, go to robot, go learn about cursive, so I can go back and forth. Alright, so one last cool thing we can do here, just to, again, I really want you guys to get excited about this, because you can design a whole app in here if you take the time to do so. So up here, we're in this play screen. So notice there's this screen and then there's the play screen. These are two different screens. So we're in the play screen. I can go here, I can select share prototype, and I can copy the link. Now I'm going to go out and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send it to my Gmail. So give me a second to do that. Basically, I'm emailing it to myself so I can pull it up on my phone. And you'll see here, so I don't know how well you can see that, but the buttons work the same. So I can click go to robot, and then there's the robot. So it's really cool because now I have on my phone the app that we just made. So you can really have fun with that. You can mess around with it if you want to, but the only thing that we are asking you of this week is some icon ideas. So let's hop on over there and see what you guys can help us with.